He was supposed to be the one. Draft night, 2012. Anthony Davis walks across the stage in a sharp suit and a unibrow that had already become a brand, a generational talent, a #1 pick, the next great big man in a league that was starving for one, a 6 feet 10 inches defensive prodigy with the handles of a guard, the timing of a surgeon, and the wingspan of a myth. The NBA didn't just want him to succeed, it needed him to. They called him the new Tim Duncan, the chosen one. He didn't come in cocky. He wasn't flashy. He didn't build a media empire or chase the spotlight. He just worked, silently, consistently, dominantly. But in sports, silence is a gamble, because if you're not talking, people start speaking for you. Cut to flashes of headlines, soft, always injured, but they had him, and every night, he gave them everything. 40-point games, 20-rebound nights, 5-block shutdowns, dominance and silence, not a #1 option. Can't carry a franchise. The crown he was given was heavier than it looked, and by the time he realized it was poison-tipped, it was already delayed. New Orleans didn't have much, and yet the arena stayed half full. The national broadcast ignored them. The MVP votes went elsewhere, and it didn't even matter how good he was. The conversation always came back to the same word. He was becoming a superstar with no one watching. What do you do when you keep climbing, but no one even notices you're rising? Coming back to early just to silence people who never knew what it took to stand up at all. Every time he hit the floor, it was like the world flinched down an ankle, a shoulder, a back, a groin. But what if disappearing was the only way to survive? That label stuck like blood to a jersey. Fans used it like punctuation. Analysts said it was smirks. Memes turned his body into a joke. But what no one talks about is the pain. They say he's fragile, but they don't see him training through tears, walking on bones that scream with every step. You don't survive in this league soft. Not at that position. Not in that body. And certainly not when every camera is waiting for you to break. They say he disappears, that he doesn't care. Again. Every comeback took more than the last. Not just physically, mentally, emotionally, because every time he went down, he didn't just lose time. He lost trust. In his body, in the media, in himself. Imagine being built like a titan, but waking up every day wondering if your legs will betray you. That's not weakness. That's war. It finally happened. The moment they said he couldn't reach the bubble. Anthony Davis didn't just play well. He dominated. 27 points a game, all-time defense, game winners. He was the best away player in the finals. And for a moment, he wasn't in the shadow. But when the stories were written, the headlines were carved, and the legacy talk began, it wasn't about him. Just a cold, quiet return to the same narrative. Nice run. But can he do it again? There was no parade, no legacy glow up, no top 5 player crown. When LeBron wins, it's legacy. It's a footnote. When Steph wins, it's greatness. When AD wins, even at his peak, he was ignored. Not because he wasn't great, but because he wasn't loud. In today's NBA, if you're not building a brand, you're just background noise. He didn't care about fashion shows. He didn't launch a podcast. He wasn't tweeting every night. He vanished in plain sight. He just played, and for that, you can be historic. You can be elite. But if no one's listening, does it even matter? They said teaming up with LeBron would make him immortal. Instead, it made him invisible. When Anthony Davis joined the Lakers in 2019, it was supposed to be a dynasty. He was the missing piece, young enough to carry the future, dominant enough to help win now. And he did. He did win. But something strange happened. The more he succeeded next to LeBron, the less he seemed to matter. He wasn't the guy. He was the other guy. No matter how many times he led the team in scoring, no matter how many clutch shots he hit, the spotlight never shifted. Being next to LeBron is like standing next to the sun. It warms you. It elevates you. But it also erases your shadow. Every championship clip, LeBron's name first. Every loss, AD's name only. The media asked, is Davis doing enough? But no one asked what it feels like to carry the weight while someone else holds the crown. How do you lead when the world only sees you as a sidekick, and the noise when he struggles? Even now, as LeBron ages, Davis doesn't get the keys. He gets the blame. He gets the pressure. He gets the silence when he shines. He joined a king and lost his kingdom. There's a special kind of heartbreak when your own city turns on you. This isn't New Orleans anymore. This is LA. where legends are built and burned. And somewhere between the 2020 championship and now, the love turned cold. He plays hurt, and they call him weak. He dominates, and they say it's about time. He sits, and they say he's stealing checks. There's no winning this game off the court. Imagine putting your body on the line every night, wrapped in tape, dosed in anti-inflammatories, only to walk off the floor 2 jeers from people wearing your jersey. They don't see the injections, the sleepless nights, the doubt that creeps in before every jump. They only see a stat line, and if it's not 30 and 15, it's failure. The Lakers have always demanded excellence. But what happens when excellence becomes perfection and perfection becomes impossible? He doesn't lash out. He doesn't clap back. He absorbs it, quietly, like he always has. The crowd doesn't see the pain behind the eyes, only the name on the jersey. There's a tragedy in being great when greatness isn't enough. Anthony Davis has done what few ever could. Led a franchise, won a ring, put up Hall of Fame numbers, redefined his position. But somehow, he's still a question mark. Is he durable enough? Hungry enough? Legendary enough? The narrative swallows him whole. He isn't loud enough to fight back, isn't flashy enough to distract, isn't flawed enough to be loved ironically. He lives in the space between respect and relevance, too good to dismiss, too quiet to celebrate. And that's what makes it hurt the most. Because his story isn't about failure. It's about being forgotten while succeeding. What if the saddest superstar isn't the one who never made it, but the one who did, and it still wasn't enough? His legacy won't be decided by stats. It'll be shaped by whispers, by what-ifs, by the silence that surrounded his greatness. Anthony Davis might not be the loudest. He might not be the most durable, but he just might be the most misunderstood. It's hard to hear praise when all you've known is pressure.